फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
हेलो एंड वेलकम टू क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट। मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर एंड रॉयल चैलेंजर्स बेंगलुरु की जो डिपेंडेंसी है विराट कोहली के ऊपर हैज कॉस्ट देम अ मैच वंस अगेन। विराट कोहली आज जल्दी आउट हुए व्हाइल चेजिंग 180 प्लस और उसके बाद आरसीबी कभी भी वापस आती नहीं दिखी। वेल, टू टॉक मोर अबाउट दिस गेम एंड आरसीबी इज बैटिंग, आई हैव विद मी साहिल मल्होत्रा will be joining me in this live session. Sahil, our producer Bansal has a new name for RCB. He says RCV, Royal Challengers Virat Kohli. I mean, jokes apart, this dependency on the former India captain is just not helping their cause. What do you have to say? I guess there's some network issue with Sahil. Sahil, can you hear us?
In green, I think. Yeah, I can hear you. Is it fine now? Is the network fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah. Can you just repeat what you say?
Yeah. So I'm saying it's not just Virat Kohli. I think the problem lies in the fact that Cameron Green, Faf du Plessis, Glenn Maxwell, Rajat Patidar, they've just not given enough performances with the bat now in this season already. The like Maipal Lomror probably have shown more spark and promise as he did today. As I said at the pre-match show, Maipal Lomror should be playing ahead of Anuj Rawat. He should be playing every game. He should be the left-hander which they need in the middle order, probably coming in at number 4 or number 5, just to keep that leg spinner and left-arm spinner out of the equation and probably promoting a good matchup, because there are just too many right-handers in that middle order, and more often than not teams have found a way to choke RCB out in the middle overs. So they need to find a way, and they've certainly not been brave enough. I think not playing Vyashak, I don't know why they didn't play him today, because clearly the surface was ideal for a bowler like him, the one who could just vary his pace a bit. I think credit to Yash Dayal for bowling the way he did. He mixed his pace up really well. But if you're just bowling Mohammad Siraj on reputation, giving him the tough overs just because he's an Indian bowler, I think that's not going to land you anywhere. And this is going to be a long, long season of disappointment for Royal Challengers Bangalore if they continue to play the same team, if they continue to play the same way. They certainly need to make those bold calls, and it needs to start with having Maipal Lomror in the middle order. You need to have Yashak in the bowling department. Just bench Mohammad Siraj for a couple of games, allow him time to regather his thoughts, regroup himself, because he's just not able to find his right length and right line.
Sahil, if you want to, if you want to play a Vaishak, you don't really need to bench anyone because you have that impact player. आप फील्डिंग करने अगर जा रहे हो तो रजत पाटीदार एंड जो भी बैट्समैन, जो प्योर बैट्समैन है, उनको को फील्ड पे क्यों उतारना है? have a bowler in there, no, and then you can substitute him if and when required. Why are you doing that? Huh?
I was very baffled when they didn't have Vyashak when they were bowling first. They should have ideally had him there. I don't know what they were thinking. What was the thought process behind that call? Because there have been a lot of calls from that RCB dugout which we have not really able to understand. And Vyashak today was one of them. And I'll keep repeating that Maipal Lomror needs to play every game. I said it at the pre-match. I'm going to say it again. He has done really well, and you need to keep players who have been playing domestic cricket regularly. They will look different. They will look different because they have game time, they have consistency under their belt, and they have been out there under the sun doing that for 3-4 months for their respective state sides. So there is no substitute for that. And as much as Anuj Rawat is exciting, his performances have been very underwhelming so far for the RCB. एक दो नॉक इधर उधर हटाओ यार, उसको डेली रेगुलरली नहीं खिला रही तो कोई रीजन है ना कंसिस्टेंसी का? महिपाल लॉमरर को खिलाओ, और आपको अगर डीके का रिप्लेसमेंट ग्रूम करना है फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर, लेट दैट हैपन नेक्स्ट ईयर ना. व्हाई आर यू स्पॉइलिंग द प्रेजेंट बाय doing something for the future which you don't have any control about? So play Mahipal Lomror, try someone like a Suyesh Prabhudesai. अगर बेंच करना है यार, एक को मैक्सवेल ग्रीन में से एक को तो करो ना, विल जैक्स को लाओ, डू समथिंग बोल्ड इनफ, वरना वो प्ले बोल्ड
I was coming to that only, and on that note I'll welcome Srini as well. Srini, Yeah, yeah,
Just
go
to
ahead,
add to
please.
that Sahil point, there is answerability here. Money doesn't hang on the trees. You spent 16 crore to get Cameroon Green, not to bench him. There is serious answerability here, right? I mean, this is where I'm trying to point out time and again. Is RCB answerable to these disasters, that they keep facing time and again? You spend that money, you've cut the check, you better be answerable for every single penny that you spend.
Okay,
Okay?
Srini, I understand this money thing for Cameron Green, right? But are you under that obligation of the Maxwell name? That's why you are playing him in that 11. कि वो कभी
100%.
तो
I've
कर ही
been
देगा.
saying this, it's just that I say it in humor,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
in all seriousness, forget the money. Money at his level, money becomes secondary,
Hmm.
for the kind of reputation that he carries, especially in this format, as
Hmm.
a marquee white ball cricketer. Tell me, what have you really brought to the table? Years, I mean, you have been a match winner for Australia at the drop of a hat, right?
Hmm.
I mean, what he's done in this World Cup is still so fresh in our minds in these very conditions. So that's where I keep saying that Maxwell, to be very honest, has been such an underperformer. I'm not going to say the same thing about Faf du Plessis, right? We've all seen what he's
Hmm.
managed, what he's achieved, even in his previous stints, whether it was CSK or whatever. The point is, with Glenn Maxwell, I've always had this issue that, he's never lived up to
Yes.
the expectation
Yes.
of the franchise.
Yes. True. There was this one
I've always
season
had
with Kings 11, if I'm not mistaken, जहाँ उन्होंने कुछ runs करे, where he got
Yeah,
a hundred
and
or and
by the
odd.
way,
Yeah, that's it.
but I'd like to say this, and before this goes out of, I mean, I miss out on this. Uh, you look at the RCB lineup, and I really don't, Sahil was talking about Mahipal, which is fine,
Hmm.
whether it's Mahipal, whether it's Rajat Patida, who are, what is the creme de la creme of this batting order? It's Faf, it's Virat, it's Maxwell, it's Green. Green primarily for the kind of money that you've invested, okay?
Hmm.
And he is a hitter. I am not getting the value that is desired from this top order. I mean, Virat, obviously, let's leave Virat out, because obviously he has, so far, whatever little RCB has done, it is him, you know.
Yeah.
But where is the rest coming from? And in that, I think that major chunk of responsibility lies with Maxwell, and it's just not there.
Hmm.
Well, they have to answer these questions. If they think, well, I mean, this is a squad that sticks together and will play together, then so be it. And by the way, also, before the start of this today evening's conversation, I wasn't really convinced about, benching Siraj. But after
Hmm.
what has happened today, I think, yeah, makes more or less makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Sahil, what are your thoughts about this? Obligation of having the Maxwell name in that lineup, and there's no performance, and it is not about these 3 games, 4 games. This has been the story just because कि यार वो कभी तो कर देता है ना, वो takes away a very important place in the
No,
lineup.
I was just thinking when Srini was talking, I was just thinking about the last 2 seasons of the RCB, why we have suffered so much heartache and heart attacks by seeing them play the way they did. I
Yeah.
think the bigger problem which I've kind of wrapping my head around is the fact that they're keeping the difficult roles for the Indian players or the younger or the inexperienced players. Now
Hmm.
take for instance, Virat Kohli has moved up the order because it's easier to score in the power play. Faf is an
Hmm.
opener, so he plays in the power play. I see no business of Glenn Maxwell coming in at number 4 when the second wicket falls in the first 6 overs. You need to keep Glenn Maxwell for the last 10. Allow a youngster like Anuj Rawat or a Mahipal Lomro to just go out there and start swinging. Let Maxwell do the difficult finishing job. Right now, your 3 finishers in the side are Dinesh Karthik, Anuj Rawat, and Mahipal Lomro. And you're thinking of ending the 16-year wait of winning a title. So I think they need to identify the roles for these players. Cameron Green, Glenn Maxwell, they are all very talented players. Earmark
Hmm.
a role for them and allow them to, just express themselves in that role, because I personally see no business of Glenn Maxwell coming into bat when the power play is still going on. 14 overs are still left. He's a very high risk, high reward kind of cricketer. He's not like a Surya Kumar Yadav who you would bank on consistency. With Maxwell, consistency and Maxwell are two different poles of two different sides of the same coin. So give Maxwell the last 10, give Cameron Green an opportunity to bat at number 4 or number 5, and keep your number 3 or number 4 positions floating for someone like a Maipal Lomror
But
or a Suresh
but Sahil,
Prabhudesai or Lalit Patidar.
but Sahil, what you are suggesting, is it while chasing or is it while batting first? Because there are two
both both
different
both
or both.
scenarios.
Glenn Mac-
प्रॉब्लम इज जब
he can't
आपकी
chase.
जो जो
He
आपकी
might have
जो
done that in for Australia, but he can't. I haven't
नो
seen him chasing, being a wonder while chasing for RCB at least. Yeah.
जब आपकी विकेट्स गुच्छे में गिरती है ना, तब आपको प्रॉब्लम होता है ये. और वो आरसीबी के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, गुच्छे के अंदर पूरा टीम निकल जाता है ऊपर का,
Team निकल-
क्योंकि आपका
See, look
पूरा
at this
बैटिंग
comment.
Can't drop
Look at
Maxwell
this
since
comment.
he's
Huh?
primary
I mean,
spinner.
Yeah,
Sports
he's right.
fan.
I mean, this guy is right. Can't
Yes.
drop Maxwell because he's a primary. That is the problem with RCB. Your primary batter can't score runs. Your primary bowler can't take.
Bowler can't pick wickets.
You know, so unfortunate hai, but this is what it is. So you have a Siraj, unfortunate. You have a Green, can't deliver. You have a Topley, again, not settled yet. But you have a Maxwell, so you can't drop Maxwell. Doesn't matter how badly he does with the bat. Bowling kar raha hai. I mean, I really don't know what to say. What is your primary response? I'm not saying drop Maxwell. I mean, as if you have a choice. It's not like these guys face a problem of plenty. They can't afford to drop Maxwell. That's a point. That's a fact. You can't afford to do anything. It's not like मेरे को एक replacement बताओ ना आप. उस order में आप किसको ले आओगे? So you have to live with it now. Point is it justified? I don't think there is. I mean, you can go on to justify what works, what doesn't work and all, but the point is the players that you've decided to stick with are really not coming your way. I mean,
Yeah.
the players you've decided to let go, well, look at how Yasuda Chahal is bowling. I really don't want to say anything.
So, आपने गुच्छे की बात करी, साहिल, गुच्छे में विकेट्स निकलती हैं. I was just having a chat with Jamie, our panelist, when the wickets were falling. 3 विकेट, तीनों प्लेयर गए, and I was like, भाई ये तो लाइनअप ही खत्म हो गया. ये तो बैटिंग लाइनअप ही खत्म हो गया.
saying, no,
There was
आपके
still that
सारे कार्ड्स,
situation. Yeah.
मतलब you're exposing all your good cards in the first draw, right? मतलब कुछ तो थोड़ा तो एक contingency plan ready रखो ना. It's being very rigid right now what they're doing.
Yeah.
विराट, फैफ, मैक्सवेल, कैम ग्रीन, रजत पाटीदार, 5 के अंदर आपने खत्म कर दिया. थोड़ा एक प्लान भी रखो ना, जब विकेट ऊपर गिर रहे हैं और आपको पता है फैफ hasn't fired this season, Maxwell hasn't fired this season, Cameron Green hasn't fired, रजत पाटीदार के आज के 29 रन को मैं कुछ गिनूंगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि वो तो एंड में अगर 2 हिट ना लगते तो वो अंडर रन बॉल स्ट्रगल कर रहा था. So all these things, they need some sort of fearlessness, which Maipal Lomror showed. I am a big fan of him.
The one who showed it. Like, he's the only one who showed some form. Yeah. But Srini, coming to Rajat Patidar, is it time for at least RCB to look ahead of him and get in someone like a Suresh Prabhudesai in that lineups, at least while chasing?
I mean, today is an odd day. I mean, I really would continue. For me, if you're comparing it with Suresh, I would continue with Rajat Patidar. I'm really not.
No, not really comparing, but the way he has been playing for almost three in the past 3-4 months. On that.
Like, past 3-4 months, क्या हम इंडिया गिन रहे हैं? We are like kind of वो अलग. That was a very different setting. That was a very different setting. Don't forget that he started off well.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, that's a very different story. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Point is, from an IPL, from this perspective, from the perspective of what is happening with RCB right now and what is the kind of talent that is available at their disposal, forget Rajat. I can't tinker with his lineup. Where do you tinker? You tell me. You know what? There is a team management that sits there, team management of the executive management of the RCB and all. You go, and today the Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli are in a meeting and they say, boss, Cameron Green is not working for us. Okay, let's rest him. You don't play him for the rest of the series. There is people back in this thing have to answer. You just can't throw money like that and then kind of not make it function, not make it work. So I'm saying, and there might be this thought process that एक साल है, experiment करके देख लेते हैं, अगले साल तो mega auction है, but they've been doing this for far too long, and I the existing bunch which is here, as one of the YouTube commenters, the guys who just commented saying Glenn
Yeah.
Maxwell can't
Is
drop him
the
because he can,
primary spinner.
the ball. Unfortunate, but I hope their plan A, which is to make him score runs, works first. What else
Yeah.
to say?
Yeah.
By the way, they really don't have a problem of plenty, so I don't see
Hmm.
how they can make any experiment here.
I'll come
Rajat,
to this spinner wala point, but Sahil, what do you think? Should they do it? सुयश प्रभुदेसाई को लाना चाहिए एक दो मैचेस के लिए या चार पांच मैचेस के लिए, जस्ट ट्राई हिम आउट, बिकॉज रजत इज नॉट एज यू जस्ट मेंशन, वो अगर दो नहीं लगते तो आज भी वो स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे, ही वाजंट लुकिंग इन दैट काइंड ऑफ अ ग्रुप, इनफैक्ट आज कोई भी नहीं लग रहा था लुमरोल के अलावा, सो डू यू थिंक दे कैन गेट इन सुयश?
निको अभी ये समझ नहीं आ रहा, अभी वो श्रीनी ने वो आंसरेबिलिटी वाला कि समवन हैज टू बी आंसरेबल, मैं वो सोच रहा था। इनके ओनर चेंज हुए हैं, इनका कोचिंग स्टाफ हर सीजन ऑलमोस्ट चेंज होता है, टिंकर होता है, कप्तान दुनिया भर के बदल दिए इन लोग ने, तो आंसरेबल वो कोई श्रीनी, डू यू रिमेंबर वन फिगर हु हैज बीन देयर इन द आरसीबी डगआउट सिंस सीजन 1? who is taking these calls? और कुछ पानी में प्रॉब्लम है बैंगलोर के जो ऑलरेडी कम है, कि मतलब आप सीजन दर सीजन ऐसा डिजास्टर कैसे कर सकते हो कि मेगा ऑक्शन हो, मिनी ऑक्शन हो, यू कंटिन्यू टू मेक दोस ब्लंडर्स. So is there anyone who's controlling these puppets so that they are kind of making these blunders season after season? Except
देखो,
Virat Kohli, I don't see any face like in the dugout
listen,
for that.
I'm sorry for saying this. Because there are some very dear friends I have in RCB. It's time I show them the mirror here for once. They have got everything sorted. Their life is an absolute party. Because look at the fan base that they have. Okay, it's a massive fan base. मतलब वो कैसे बोलूं मैं, अंधों का शहर है, उसमें एक राजा है, वो वैसा वाला हिसाब है. मैं क्या बोलूं, अभी वो वैसा फैन बेस है आपके पास, विच इज रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट. मतलब वो कैसा प्यार है, आई एम रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट यू विद ऑल योर फॉल्ट्स, दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. एंड देन the other hand, you look at how they have accomplished every other facet of their franchise network, right? They have the best sponsorship, they have the best of everything, thanks to one guy. Thanks to one guy. You, me, Soumya, we are having this discussion. You remove that one guy out of this franchise and then let's sit down, and then let's talk about this same franchise. And then let's see how we discuss a Punjab Kings, how we discuss any other franchise, and how we discuss RCB. That's it. Answerability, they have for some reason, they have convinced this guy that is the franchise where he needs to stay, and that guy has literally been in love with them. He's given every bit of his whatever energy into infusing some kind of positivity into this side, and that is the benefit that they're reaping.
बट वन क्वेश्चन आई हैव श्रेनी, ओके, आपकी पूरी फ्रेंचाइज एक बंदे पे डिपेंडेंट है, और जितना पैशनेट है बंदा गेम को लेके है, इनके इनपुट्स लेते तो होंगे आप, वही सुन लो, बिकॉज आई हैवंट सीन अ टीम which has been balanced in the last 16 years. बैलेंस नहीं दिखा मुझे कभी.
अरे ऐसे ऐसे लोग उस फ्रेंचाइज को हैंडल करके गए हैं, वो तो लाइफ में बैलेंस नहीं था, फ्रेंचाइज में क्या बैलेंस दिखाएंगे आप? पुराने टीम ओनर्स देखो ना उनके.
So I have a very interesting comment here from Harsh. On a lighter note, is Srinivas talking about Mr. Nags as that guy?
Oh, well, Mr. I personally like him. They've mastered it. Mr. Nags is very cool. The humor is awesome. The unboxing event they did. Oh, Alan Walker. I like his music. वो एलन वॉकर को लेके आए, वो उसका म्यूजिक लेके आए अनबॉक्सिंग इवेंट के लिए. मतलब हम वर्ल्ड क्लास से नीचे वाली चीज कोई करेंगे ही नहीं, हम जो भी करेंगे टॉप क्लास करेंगे, एक्सेप्ट जीतना. ये एक चीज को बाजू हटा दो, क्रिकेट छोड़ के सब बात करो.
आपने अनबॉक्सिंग वाली इवेंट बोला, so when that unboxing thing was happening, I saw this meme on Twitter that the broadcaster of the IPL is giving the IPL for free, but RCB is charging for the unboxing event. मतलब ये तो कमाल कर दिया था. But I get it what you're saying, but मेरे को अभी तक ये नहीं समझ आ रहा कि मतलब कोई तो क्रिकेटिंग ब्रेन लगा रहा होगा ना. Like we have seen sides which have had, like even Chennai.
Again, as I said,
really bad seasons.
Let me be harsher here. Let me be a bit harsher here. You are enjoying the finest sponsorship. the jersey that they enjoy, not many teams enjoy. मुंबई इंडियंस को वैसा स्पॉन्सरशिप लाने के लिए 5 बार टाइटल जीतना पड़ा। चेन्नई सुपर किंग्स को जो भी करना है वो धोनी को रखना पड़ रहा है उनको, और उतना बार टाइटल जीते तब जाके वो मिल रहा है। आपको एक बंदा लाके दे रहा है, आप हारे जा रहे हो, एक बंदा लाके दे रहा है आपको, आप उसको टीम में स्टेक दे दो बॉस। He deserves it. He deserves a stake in that team. Single-handedly वो ब्रांड को लेके चल रहा है। And I'm really worried for this franchise. Should that guy tomorrow say, okay, boss, I'm taking a break? I don't know. These guys will have to take a longer break.
Yeah. क्या बोलूं मैं इस फ्रेंचाइज के बारे में? साहिल, just as a fan, what do you have to say? Because I'll move on to LSG.
No, I think I'm no longer a RCB fan now because I'm getting very frustrated now. 4 matches in this season already. Now what they've done this season, I had
एक ही आदमी से एक ही झूठ कितनी बार बोलोगे?
नहीं अब हो गया। अब मेरे दिल को बहुत ठेस पहुंची है जो ये कर रहे हैं मैच आफ्टर मैच।
साइकोलॉजिस्ट को लाएंगे, वो भी पार्टी करने लगेगा यहाँ पे।
Everyone is a king of good times at the Royal Challengers Bangalore. तो अब मेरा हो गया
विनिंग। देखो क्वेश्चन भाई का, देखो इसने कितना सोचा है। वापस लगाओ वो कमेंट।
Can I have the comment please? Yeah.
In order to have a winning mentality during crunch situation
in
my answer is, मेरे भाई पहले crunch situation तक पहुंचो तो सही। आप पहले क्रंच सिचुएशन तक तो पहुंचो, आप तो वहीं पहुंचने के लिए
at times I think अगर ये फ्रेंचाइज एक टाइटल जीत जाती 3 में से, जो 3 फाइनल हारे, ये क्या करते?
16 साल की पार्टी एक साथ करेंगे।
ये क्या करते अपनी ब्रांडिंग के साथ, अपनी ये जिस जोन में होते हैं या जो ऑक्शंस होती हैं उसके साथ ये क्या करते? अगर ये तीनों में फाइनल में से कोई एक जीत जाते तो।
अरे आधा पार्टी तो लड़कियां जीती तब कर लिया ये लोगों ने।
Okay, moving on. Sahil, your views about Mayank Yadav spell? क्या बॉल डाला है यार वो, and I just love the control this boy has.
Phenomenal. But I think I was speaking to Srini in the middle of the match when he had taken 2 wickets. We are discussing tomorrow's story, which is almost final now. अब कल आने वाला है तो viewers वो पढ़ेंगे. But मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, अभी ट्विटर के ऊपर इतना हल्ला बवाल शुरू हो गया ना, मतलब स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड से लेकर इयन बिशप सबने ऐसा तार के झाड़ पे चढ़ा दिया। Boss, take it easy. This kid hasn't played a lot of cricket at a stretch. We need to be very practical when we kind of hype up talent. He's an exciting talent, but you need to be very, very, very careful. He not played one complete season of domestic tournament yet. वो लास्ट 2 साल के अंदर 2 बार बड़ी बड़ी इंजरीज से रिहैब करके आया है। पूरा डोमेस्टिक सीजन उसने रणजी ट्रॉफी का मिस करा था बिकॉज ऑफ अ साइड स्ट्रेन, बिकॉज हिज हेड फॉल्स ऑन द लेफ्ट इन हिज फॉलो थ्रू। थोड़ा करेक्ट करा है उसने। सो देयर आर थिंग्स यू नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ राइट नाउ। इफ यू आस्क मी पर्सनली, हैविंग सीन हिम फ्रॉम अंडर 19, अंडर 23, दिल्ली के सारे लोकल टूर्नामेंट में बॉल डालता है, कैश प्राइज टूर्नामेंट्स में खेलता है। आप इसको 4 ओवर के लिए अभी यूज करो, स्लोली इसको 10 ओवर वाला बॉलर बनाओ, क्योंकि 10 ओवर वाले बॉलर के अंदर जितना मेरा लोकल क्रिकेटर से दिल्ली में बात हुआ है, ये 4 ओवर 150 फेंकेगा, उसके बाद 130, 135, 40 पे आ जाता है। सो अंडरस्टैंड, ही इज जस्ट 21, राइट? Give him time to ease himself in the international setup, in the IPL setup, play अभी पूरा IPL खेलने दो उसको। 13-14 गेम है ना, let him play those 13-14 games, let's see how his body reacts, then we jump on to conclusions. लोगों ने इसको बॉर्डर गास्कर ट्रॉफी की फ्लाइट पे बिठा दिया यार। वो अभी एक फर्स्ट क्लास मैच नहीं खेला पूरा, पता है? इतना भी अनरियल।
सिमिलर टू उमरान, नो, कि पूरा क्रिकेटिंग करियर बहुत छोटा है, बट ही केम टू।
So Umran had a problem, okay? I won't say problem, but with Mayank, there's a lot of accuracy, there's a lot of skittiness. He hits the deck hard and he looks to take wickets. Umran Malik was an out-and-out fast bowler. You wouldn't associate Umran. So Umran wasn't your wicket-taking fast bowler.
Exactly.
Mayank was a wicket-taking fast bowler. He would attack the stumps. He would make the batsman play more often. So those are the attributes of a good fast bowler who is looking to pick wickets. But Umran was just headless traffic. No, बस तेज फेंको। तेज से किसी को डर नहीं लगता। मयंक अगर फेंक रहे हैं, ये साइड आर्म को 160 खेलते हैं, रघु हमारा 165 फेंकता है नेट के अंदर। तेज से डर किसी को नहीं लगता। डर है अगर आप एक्यूरेसी से बॉल फेंक रहे हो। वही मयंक कर रहा है।
Let's talk about Mayank Yadav tomorrow after Sahil Malhotra's piece on Mayank comes out. watch that, read that piece on CricketNext, then let's have an evolved discussion. It's a fabulous piece that he's writing. So
Yeah.
पहले वो आने दो बाहर, पहले वो
Yeah.
पढ़ ले, फिर उसके
चलिए
बाद
चलिए
उससे इम्पोर्टेंट पहले मैं वो लिख लूं.
चलिए
But yeah, we were discussing. He's writing a very interesting piece. Let it come out.
चलिए उस स्टोरी का इंतजार रहेगा. साहिल, वेल थैंक यू श्रीनी, थैंक यू साहिल फॉर जॉइनिंग मी इन दिस सेशन. एज यूजुअल आरसीबी की प्रॉब्लम्स खत्म होने का नाम नहीं ले रही और हम अब उस कैटेगरी में आ गए हैं फैंस के जहां हमने सब कुछ एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है. जीते तो जीते, नहीं तो बहुत एंटरटेनिंग फ्रेंचाइज है ये, एंटरटेन करती रहेगी. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग मी इन दिस वन. गुड नाइट, बाय बाय, शबा खैर.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.